Hello YouTube, Camodo Gaming here, playing some more Scrap Mechanic. Today we're going to be looking at some viewer creations. Now you guys are going to be getting a double dose of Scrap Mechanic. Today's viewer creation, tomorrow is back in the Space Town, so hopefully you join us for that. And we will return to the theme park at the beginning of next week, probably after Multiplayer Monday, so hopefully that video doesn't screw up like the last one. But anyways, let's go ahead and check these out. Now, this is by a creator that I've featured before, and let me locate these vehicles. His name is FinoWorkTR, and we've covered him before. He had a map that had a parody of Area 51, and oh no. Well, I won't be getting that back. Anyways, that is Brent Batch's flyer, by the way. It's a fantastic flyer. I use it to find viewer creations. I use it just for about everything, and now it's on the skybox, so we can say bye to the flyer. Alright, today's creator is FinoWorkTR. Now, we've covered him before. He had a fantastic map he sent me a couple months ago. Had some UFOs on it. It had just a wide variety of vehicles and a couple buildings on it. Really awesome creator. He's also got a YouTube channel. I'm going to flash that up on screen if you'd like to check that out. Now, I get sent a lot of vehicles all the time. I get sent a vehicle here and there, and it's really hard to make an episode on just one vehicle. So he sent me a map, and he said, well, I've got a vehicle for you. I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. You know, what is it? He's like, no, I've got 12 vehicles for you. And I was like, what? And as soon as I was sent the map, I immediately checked it out, and I went looking for the vehicles, and this is really awesome. He has sent me 12 vehicles. You've got a wide array of vehicles here, and these are all out of vanilla parts too, which is really awesome. So all these will be available to download on his workshop. I will link that in the description. He's got vehicles for everything here. We've got a monster truck. We've got off-road vehicles from like a trophy truck, a Dune Buggy that's using all those new parts. Those are actually not mods. This looks like the MJM pipes, but Scrap Mechanic recently updated and gave these parts out, so he's been using those. You've got tons of street vehicles. You've got a hot rod, sports car, hatchback, military vehicles, off-road vehicles, a Jeep. He's got it all in here, and this is going to be fantastic. Now, I got to figure out how I'm going to do this, because I would like to cover as many of these vehicles as possible, but it's going to be really hard to spend a lot of quality time with each of them. So I'm going to pick out my favorites, and we'll briefly cover the other ones. I love the way this Dune Buggy looks. It looks so accurate. I love the parts on it. Thankfully, Scrap Mechanic has added these small pipe pieces. A lot of you recall that the MJM mod started these little pipe pieces, and they're really useful. They look good for roll cages. And finally, Scrap Mechanic added them, so that's actually really awesome that they're using. I don't know if they were intending on putting these in, or if they saw the MJM mod and decided that these were really good pieces to use. But anyways, let's pull up the spider web. You can see these are solid axle in the front and the rear. I'm trying to figure out if he's using like a suspension glitch here. He's got this little, he's got two bearings here that are attached to a little pipe that runs down to the suspension. Like, that's the only thing I can picture that doing, because he could have just had a solid piece going across. So this thing might actually handle really good. You can see there's controllers in the middle. I'm assuming it's probably gas powered. Actually, you know what? You can see the engine. I believe that's it there. So you've got that. You've got quite a bit of engine detail. He's got the angles right on the roll cage, so I'm pretty sure when you pick this up on a lift here, yeah, you can see they're popped up, so take it down and boom, they snap into place. He's got lights on it. You've got logic gates here in the front and the top. So let's go ahead and hop in real quick. It's actually really awesome. Let's try everything. Okay, it's a horn. There are lights. All right. Let's go drive this thing around a bit. I'm getting a little bit of lag by all the vehicles because they're all in the same area. But let's go out here and hit some of these bumps. Now, in the town, somebody really wanted me to do like an off-road racetrack, or something around the campground, and this vehicle would be absolutely perfect for it. So hopefully once that new engine update comes out, it'll actually fix some of the issues, because I would like to do that. There's a lot of things I'd love to do in that map, and I still get asked about that map a lot, so hopefully that thing comes out within the next week or two and we can get back to that. But yeah, this is a fantastic vehicle, and what I want to hit here, there's got to be something. Actually, no, that looks like a pretty good bump to hit. It handles good. It turns on a dime. It seems like the rear kind of swings out, which is always fun in off-road vehicles because you get a little bit of like a sliding or a drifting motion. So, yep, oh, and we flipped it. There we go. Oh, you actually can see, oh, those are on free, okay, I get how that works. Those are free bearings in the front, and they shift from side to side, giving it a little bit extra handling. And the backs, I believe, are actually just locked down in one place because you want your back as stiff, oh, I wouldn't say you want it as stiff as possible. You want it to be able to travel up and down, but I don't know, I'm not sure you want it to shimmy to the left and the right. Now, he's got that working on the front end here, which is actually really good. So yeah, I think I actually understand what those bearings are there for now. Yeah, so you can see this little bit of a shimmy, like you'll see it move from left to right, and it would almost do that naturally with just a suspension, but with those free bearings there, it actually makes it shimmy over a lot more. So this thing could probably be used almost like a rock crawler or something. You can like go up. Actually, I don't think we have a really good area. Yeah, I guess that is up there, but I don't think we're gonna actually get up there with the power. I might need to add a little bit of power to do that, but definitely a really cool vehicle. So let's go ahead and drive this back. I've got a lot to cover here, so I'm gonna pick out my next favorite vehicle here. All right, I've separated the other off-road vehicles. Now, I've already covered the Dune Buggy, and it's over there, and that Jeep looks like an off-road vehicle, but I think there's a little bit of a military theme going on because the Jeep's black, the other vehicles are black and green, so I'm going to cover those in a group. But yeah, looks like we've got a off-road, I want to say this is like a buggy with a body on it. You've got a trophy truck here, and of course you've got a huge monster truck. Now this monster truck has a really interesting suspension design. He's got a suspension piece, pipe piece, suspension piece. I've seen this a couple of times. I don't know how well it works, but I'm assuming since he went with it, it actually does work really good. You've got that, you got a couple thrusters on the back. I love the wheels. Now keep in mind, Scrap Mechanic does not have huge wheels, so you have to make them with the vanilla parts. I think MJM has a mod for huge wheels, but this is strictly vanilla, so I love the way he's done those. Now, you can't make those a perfect circle, but he's done a really good job, and I think these are going to actually handle really good. So let's go ahead and open up the door here. Hop in. Let's see what all the buttons do. So we got door, hood. Oh, engine detail. Actually, that looks really good in there. So we've got that. What do we got here? Okay, that's the thrusters, horn, and radio. Alright, we are testing the off-road capabilities, and that's actually, I didn't notice that there's an off-road suspension, and then there's a, I guess it's the stock or the street suspension. That actually works actually nice. It's got a lot of travel on it, so it's definitely making the wheels move, and oh no! Oh, looks like I almost got one of the wheels caught under here. Let's hit the thruster here. I think we need a little more power, so let's go ahead and hit that. There we go, and oh, hit the hood too. Yeah, this is it's a nice ride. I really like the way the wheels look. I kind of wish Scrap Mechanic would just go ahead and put big wheels in. I don't know if that's a plan because it seems like they need to stick some more stuff for the creative mode as far as parts, but I don't know if they think it's going to interrupt or say all their creative parts have got to match their survival parts, or if you could do that separately. Kind of wish they would just add a whole bunch of parts and you don't have to include them in create or survival mode. We could just have them all in creative mode, that way we can create some really intense builds, but he's definitely done a good job with what he has here. So let's go ahead and try to run this over a couple things here. It sounds like we're running off an electric motor, so you're gonna get that instant stop. So if I were to release the gas here, you just boop, there we go, hit the gas. You've got all that torque, so this thing would definitely be able to climb, but the thing with the electric motor, as soon as you shut it off, you get like an instant stop. The gas motor, you would still roll some more. So I don't understand exactly why that's like that, but I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a logical explanation, but I'm not very, good at stuff like that. I'm not good at explaining logical explanations. I explain whatever I think's going on in my head, so there's that. That's actually really pretty good. The wheels twist around a little bit, and sometimes they make like a collision with the body, but there's really no way to stop that. I mean, you could stick the wheels even further out, but it wouldn't look like a monster truck then. So he's got a really nice stock-looking monster truck. You've got quite a bit of engine detail. You can see the headers popping out here in the top. Really cool. And oh, actually, I really like the lights. I love the two bars across, and then like the turning signals with the slanted block. So really nice design. let's go ahead and we're gonna briefly touch on these other off-road vehicles because I built stuff like this before and I really want to cover a couple of his other vehicles. Like he's got a street section and he's got his military section. So for the sake of time, we're gonna briefly go over these. You've got a trophy truck or a Baja 1000 truck, whatever you want to call it. These are really nice. I used to be obsessed with building these. If you go back to my previous episodes, I have probably 3 or 4 episodes on just trucks like this. Mainly my scrap mechanic, I don't know if you want to call it a career, was based around vehicles when I first started. That was before I was remotely, I don't want to say I'm big, but that was before I had 40,000 or 46,000 subs. I had about 1,000 subs and I created a bunch of off-road vehicles. So it's really nice to be able to kind of go back to that because I love checking out other people's vehicle designs since I feel like that's oh, that was embarrassing. Let's go ahead and hop out of this real quick. And oh, we are in a little bit of an awkward spot here. Let's go ahead and pop the door open. Actually, I don't know if the door is going to pop up. There we go. But yeah, I used to build nothing but vehicles. That was my thing. So whenever I can go back and look at other people's vehicle designs, that's my favorite thing. Like everybody's got their own little specialty, I would say. Mine was, hey, let's build some structures and let's build vehicles. Actually, I wasn't even good at building structures at first. It was just, hey, let's build vehicles. Like I thought that's what scrap mechanic was for. So it's a really nice design. It's, like I said, he's making all this out of concrete, which is really good because he's keeping the weight in mind. This wouldn't work very good with just metal. So you can get away with just using the single suspension pieces in all these vehicles, which is always going to save you performance because I'm not having any performance issues here. You get a little bit when all these vehicles are close together, but you're talking 12 vehicles right next to each other. So definitely it's handling this nicely. So let's go ahead, take a brief look at the trophy truck. Not going to drive it around any. I'm pretty sure it's the same setup as this one over here. A really nice paint job. I love the mixture of colors that he's using. It's like a pixel art on the side. I'm not really good at pixel art. I wish I was better, truly, because you can really make some neat looking things. Even though you're limited to blocks, you can make some really cool designs. And with the limited space that he's had, or at least with the limited space that he has on the truck and the vehicle here, he's done some really awesome looking paint jobs. So definitely those are really cool, but let's go check out the next section of cars. Man, this is just crazy, the amount of cars that are in here. And he has done a fantastic job with these designs. Like for vanilla parts, these are the cars that I wish I had in the town. He's got looks like this is, I want to say this is like a Ford Mustang, maybe like a GT. Not really sure. That looks like a normal, just kind of town car. Of course, you've got an awesome looking hot rod. I love the engine detail in there. And we've got a hatchback, maybe like a Honda Civic or something. And we've got, I've been debating on what this is, and I'm pretty sure he's got it listed somewhere. But if I had to take a guess, I'm thinking a Ferrari, possibly, or maybe a Ford GT, like an earlier version. I don't know if Ford GT's ever had a convertible. Maybe not that. Ferrari, possibly a Viper. I'm not really sure. It's got a lot of pieces on it, but of course we're dealing with a limited amount of vanilla pieces, so I can't exactly tell what's going on. And is that a suspension glitch, or kind of seeing what he's got going on here? He's got a lot of bearings and a lot of different parts. I want to say all this folds. Maybe we have a folding roof here. Let's test this out real quick. Okay, door, hood. Get some engine detail in there. And what is that? Oh, we got a little spoiler here. All right, that's really cool. I was wondering what that bearing was in the back. And we've got our horn. Let's go ahead and test this out real quick. And oh, we're getting the lag near the vehicles. There we go. I don't really have any roads here. It's kind of a shame. And let's see. Okay, is he using the suspension glitch? Because this thing is turning really good for these small wheels. And this actually looks like a miniature car. It's poking out at a very unsafe level, so let's see. Something loose? Okay, no, I think we're just bottoming out. For the little wheels, this thing actually turns good. It turns better than I thought it would. I was looking at it, sometimes I'm always afraid when those wheels are that close to the fender that it's gonna get hung up on it, and it's not gonna turn good at all, but this is actually working really nice. I really wish I had a road. I would say, hey, let's take this over to the town real quick and test it out, but yeah, if you wanna see 20 FPS running around the town, that's what you're gonna get there. So let's see, let's try to find, we've got some flat areas through these trees, so let's try to maneuver this thing through there. Really cool. I really want to test out the Ford GT also because I love the way that thing looks. I've seen some really cool, I think Grego, or I think I'm saying his name right. He created a really awesome Ford GT with his parts and it looked pretty dead on, or I want to say Ford Mustang GT. But this one looks really good for vanilla parts. And oh, this one's got some pickup on it. There we go. Oh, you know what? The back actually looks it looks accurate for what you're dealing with. Like for the parts, that is awesome. That and the front is, I would say, for what Scrap Mechanic has, that's pretty dead on. And boy, this thing has actually got a lot more power than the other one, so I'm going to have to be careful here because there's going to be a lot of drifting here. And oh, is that my OCD? Oh no, that's supposed to be like that. Okay, I was seeing the paint on the stripes. I was like, oh, I'm going to have to paint that. But no, looks like that's what it's supposed to be. It might be some sort of, I think maybe they have like a nameplate or an emblem on the side, so that's probably what that's representing. Oh yeah, this thing's got some pickup to it. And it's taking the off-road fairly decent. Yeah, this is probably about as flat as it's gonna get here. We're about to move into the outskirts, which are always like brown and bumpy, so let's go ahead and swing this thing around. Got a little bit of drifting motion there. That is really, really cool. I actually like this vehicle. I love all these vehicles, actually. I wish I could sit here and make an hour-long video, but I don't think anybody wants to watch an hour-long of me just playing around with vehicles. Hot rod, hatchback. Hot rod, hatchback. You know what? I've got to go with the hot rod. This thing's been catching my eye. Now, I've created 2 hot rods before. I had one in the town, and I had one just that I built. I think that was maybe, if I recall, it's episode 30. I built a hot rod. It kind of went with my racetrack that I had. Is this the door? There we go. But this one looks actually fairly similar. Now, he's got a lot more engine detail than I had. Like, this thing looks beastly. You can see all the headers, the mufflers coming out the side. That is a nice looking ride. And I like that he used the buttons for the taillights. That's also really cool. So let's go ahead and test this out. Oh yeah, this has also got a lot of pickup on it. Yeah, I really like that he's done these in categories. Like, I was staring at him at first and I was like, what's similar about all these? And it's like, oh, they're all in categories. So I figured that's gonna be the best way to cover this. Let's see, swing this around. It's a pretty quick vehicle. The front wheels, I don't know if that's kind of throwing it off. It turns good, but you know, it actually looks like they're both staying to the ground fairly even, so that's actually nice. I was trying to see if maybe the fronts were lifting, but they don't appear to be. It seems like he's got the right amount of weight because you're dealing with all those fairly heavy pipe pieces in the front, and you got once again, he's got the concrete body on the back, so that works really nice. So yeah, these vehicles are all available on the workshop, so if you like to download these I think everything, he just recently uploaded all these, so you see any of these vehicles you like, definitely go check out his workshop. But yeah, let's go ahead and go to the last section, which is going to be the army vehicles. Alright, I believe I've saved the best for last. Now, we've got 3 vehicles here. This looks similar to like a Maz military vehicle. I think it's like a Russian, I don't know really, I think it's used mainly for hauling stuff around. I made one of these, except for his looks a little bit different. I don't know if that's exactly what it is. I could be completely wrong on that. But man, there's a lot of detail here. You've got 4 opening doors, plenty of room for you and your friends. That's a fairly busy and whoa. Okay, I was catching the spider web off the other vehicle, but yeah, this is a fairly busy vehicle. Got a lot of controllers there. What are those actually going to? Okay, those are all for the doors. You've got a bunch of lights. Looks like we got another logic gate set of lights up here. So let's close all of these. Horn, lights, more lights. That's really awesome. Let's take this thing around for a second. I always picture these things being really heavy in the front end. I made mine out of metal, and every time I'd stop, the front would like pitch forward and the back wheels would lift off the ground. He's got a really nice balance here in this. This is really awesome. Actually, you know, I really would like to make a military theme map. I gotta ask that a lot. Like, hey, you need to make like a military base. And maybe that will be something I could do one day, because I've got a lot of things that I could do with these vehicles and stuff like this. And actually, what is that? I'm looking at these new pipe pieces. He's got something covered up. Is that I think that's actually where the motors are. You can see there in the back, they're all covered up. Oh, that's actually neat looking. let's cruise around here, maybe swing around. I don't know if I can make it around this tree. Let's go ahead and swing around. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was almost disaster. All right, swing off this. No, we didn't bottom out. That's actually, that handles really good. You know you did good if you can hop over a hill and this nose, this huge nose doesn't like hit the ground, so it definitely catches itself. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, there's another vehicle over there that's really catching my eye, and whoop. See, look at that save. That was amazing. But yeah, there's another vehicle over there catching my eye. It's got probably one of the busiest spider webs out of all the vehicles here. And it almost looks like it's got skid steering. Now, I could be completely wrong. Let's go ahead and go over there and check it out. It's this one here in the middle. Now, we've got a Jeep on the left side here, and I do want to briefly touch on this, mainly because I love the design that he's done with the parts. Fairly simplistic as far as the spider web, but he has just nailed it with these parts. Like, I love the way it kind of angles out. The grill looks nice. It's got a nice cage on it. It's a really clean looking vehicle, and I'm pretty sure, let's go ahead and hop in it briefly. Oh yeah, no, there's gonna be nothing wrong with that. You've got all just single suspension pieces. He's not done anything too crazy with his suspension. He's kept everything pretty straightforward, which is really good for a map like this because, I mean, obviously 12 vehicles, but he's got something crazy going on over here. And let me see. Yeah, if I had to guess what this is, that is skid steering. You've got, it looks like it's gonna be 3 pipe, or actually it's probably just 2 pipe pieces and the third bearings on the body of the vehicle. And you can see they're all aiming in different directions. You've got several electric motors in there. I'm assuming this is skid steering, so let's see if I'm right here. Yep, that is skid steering. You hear the electric motors going. That's probably the fastest skid steering that I've seen in the game. That works really good. Like, you can, I mean, it just turns on a dime. I had skid steering once. I never have messed with it anymore, but this is fantastic. It actually feels like it's just gliding on ice. I like this. I like this a lot, actually. Let's see what it looks like going over this cornfield. Oh, that's extremely nice. This is a good ride. This is a smooth ride. It's not causing much lag, even though we've got a absolute ton of bearings under there. So let's see, let's swing around here. Is there, what, 1 suspension piece on each of these, I believe? I can't really see. You can somewhat get a brief view of it there. Yeah, I think it's 1 suspension piece on each of these. But yeah, it's a cool vehicle. Like, this would be perfect for any off-road situation. Like, I picture this thing climbing really well. Let's go find something to climb real quick, and then we're gonna have to wrap this episode up. Yeah, this is probably kind of a long episode, a lot of vehicles to cover. It was awesome that he's like, hey, I'm gonna send you everything at once, and it's awesome, and it's also a little daunting, because I'm like, oh, which ones do I cover? Like, I love all vehicles, so it's kind of hard for me just to pick and choose. And nope, let's try this real quick. Oh yes, that works so good. Okay, you know what, I think I have a new favorite vehicle on the map. It's definitely this thing, because just to be able to do that, and it works so smooth. Wow, that is truly a climber there. That works fantastic. But yeah, let's go ahead and go back to the main area real quick, and then we're gonna wrap this up. Anyways, guys, you can see the graveyard of tons of vehicles now. I've pretty much played with them all, or at least messed with most of them. I know there's a couple that I didn't cover that much. It's just gonna take way too long, but definitely, it's FinoWorkTR if you want to check his channel out. The link will be in the description. His workshop will also be in the description. These are all on there. These are all vanilla, so you can play with all of these vehicles and not have to worry about mods. So that's always nice. But anyways, like I said, we are going to return with Scrap Mechanic again tomorrow. We will be back in the space town, so we'll be doing a couple things in there, and then we will start in the weekend. I think we're going to play a random game and probably Unturned, so hopefully you join us for that. But anyways, if you'd like to like and subscribe, everything helps my channel. Thanks for all the support recently. It's been fantastic. Everything's going really nice. Even with school going on right now, everything's slowed down, but it's still chugging along. So anyways, thanks for all the support, guys. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you.